Yes, sir. Quick hitters, hitting it hard, hitting it fast, all gas, no brakes. Oh, it is the Matty Daddy, and we are on top. Monday Night Delight. Dude, Tua Tagovailoa. And it's just not me tonight. Corey Spala, baby, from Western Michigan. Grinding, performing, styling, and wilding, baby. We got Edge of Chaos, FF Authority, the checklist. And it's time to get busy.
Yo,
dude.
Hey, what's good, man? I don't know if I could match that energy, but hey, well, that was a good intro, man. I appreciate it. What's up out here?
Dude, pumped to have you, man. These are quick hitters.
Quick
we're hitting
hit.
the gas, and we're going through a player profile.
Let's do it.
So when I reached out to you, you said Tua, baby. So let's talk Tua.
Let's do it.
Corey, fill us in on Tua leading up till now.
Yeah, Tua Tagovailoa. All right, everyone. So this entire conversation, it needs to be prefaced with the fact that Tua Tagovailoa entered his rookie year while rehabbing a career-threatening injury. We all know that this is true, but it just needs to be understood. You do not train the same when you are rehabbing. That's just not your focus. So the 2020 season, he had 15.0 points per game in 9 starts. And let's look at that game, right? Tua, he finished 5th in the NFL in catchable passes. In only one of his final 5 games, he saw that below 80%. So let's kick it into no huddle. He had the 8th best rating, 5th best yards per attempt, 8th best completion percentage, and he was tied for first with 0 interceptions.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool. So let's look at the 4th quarter then. When you're performing, maybe in the clutch, maybe not. Rating, he was 8th. Completion percentage, he was 2nd. And Tua, he had a higher 4th quarter passer rating than guys like Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield, and Justin Herbert. So obviously, Tua's stats, they're from a smaller sample, given that he only started 9 games. However, I believe heading into the 2021 season, we will see the difference between rehabbing a career-threatening injury and then having adequate time, work with his supporting cast, as well as just working out and strengthening himself.
So the hip injury kind of discredited him. Do you think that's why everybody's shitting on him, or what is the reason that everybody is so low on this guy?
Yeah, that's a good question out there. We all know fifth round overall pick. A lot of people had him QB1 over Burrow, obviously over Herbert. No one really knew what Herbert was going to do, but maybe it was just the lack. Everyone wants immediate reinforcement from their shiny new toys. And 15.0 points per game is nothing special. Don't get me wrong. He had a couple down games, especially that first game against the Rams and that defense.
Right.
But people want that just immediate need, I guess, and satisfaction from their player. And Tua being a game manager, that's a big question on him. It kind of maybe he's not as flashy as people want him to be, but he's serviceable, and that's why I picked him here, because I feel that his value is just a little too low heading into this 2021 season.
Absolutely. I can see your point of view, and the stats you just brought up back that up. Now, before we get into this year and the weapons around him, when it rains, it pours. And the newest news is the picks in camp or OTAs that he threw. So kind of lay some light on that, because all we heard was going downfield, taking shots, just throwing pick after pick.
Yeah, we all heard about that a couple weeks ago. Tua, he had 5 interceptions in a practice. The following day, we found out that practice was during downpour raining. It was horrible conditions, and that practice was geared towards seeing what they can do in those conditions and seeing if they could move the ball down the field. So during a practice like that, a quarterback is throwing passes that he likely will not actually do in a real game, but it's just practice. You're trying to get some repetitions going. It's downpouring, raining. You're just trying to see what you are able to do. And maybe they even try to see what they can get out of, a rookie like Hunter Long or their other rookie, Jalen Waddle, and maybe even newly acquired Will Fuller. You know what I mean? So it was just a specific practice that the Dolphins wanted to see what can happen because of the circumstances, the downpouring rain, and see what's good. And then the next day he had 4 touchdowns in the practice, and no one wanted to talk about it. So
exactly. Nobody talked about that.
I don't know. Probably some people did, but that's not for the clicks and not for the views. You know what is for the clicks? Tua throwing 5 interceptions.
Very
I
true.
get it. From a business side, I get it. You got to get your clicks. You got to get your quota for the month. Whatever.
Absolutely. So, and you got to also take into effect, you're going to run the ball for the most part when it is pouring, but it is good to see what you have in those kind of situations. Dude, so let's talk pieces of the pie, dude. Fill us in on this Dolphins offense.
That's right. Okay, so I kind of brought up, let's look at the 2021 Dolphins offseason, right? They brought in Will Fuller, drafted Jalen Waddle, drafted Hunter Long. Also something to note, they also drafted Liam Eichenberg in the second round. He's an offensive tackle. They drafted another tackle in the sixth round. Maybe it's just like a little Band-Aid, but it's kind of clear that they're bringing in these players to support Tua. All right. So now there's been even talks about a new playbook, which obviously makes sense. You got additions of Fuller and Waddle, right?
Right.
So Parker, he's obviously going to take a little back seat. Fuller and Waddle, they're going to be the guys. Mike Gesicki, we know he plays that jumbo slot. I think he ran 70-something% of his snaps from the slot, but then Waddle was a slot guy at Bama, so I don't know what's going to happen with Gesicki, right? So I guess something we need to touch on here when we look at this weapons, it's very cool to talk about, in fantasy, like the wide receiver ones, the tight end ones, the running back. Myles Gaskin, he played, 10 games, I think it was, and he saw a 70% snap share. It's pretty solid. But something that needs to be noted is their offensive line. Last year, the Dolphins, they rolled out an offensive line that often started 3 rookies. So a year of development for those guys, Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt, and Solomon Kinley, it's going to be pretty vital for the offensive line success in 2021. So again, it was noted they drafted the second round tackle and then a 6th round tackle, but they also have veterans in DJ Fluker, Jesse Davis, and Matt Skura. So that's going to help round it out, right? So when we look at this offense and what's going to happen, it kind of depends. Are they going to, be leading a lot? About that defense, pretty solid. So are they going to be playing from behind a lot? Maybe, maybe not. So, maybe there's not going to be as much passes. Again, one of Tua's biggest question marks is like he's a game manager, and currently he's ranked quarterback 16 in Dynasty, and he's quarterback 21 in fantasy football. So what did you ask about the weapons? I kind of did a roundabout answer there.
If you're drafting a receiver, Fuller, Waddle, Parker, is there going to be one of these guys that can produce, wide receiver 2 value? Or are you looking at wide receiver 3-4s just with this crew of weapons? Who's your main piece of this offense if it's not Tua?
Well, Gaskin, but wide receiver wise,
yes, sir.
I don't know. I want to say Fuller. I mean, he has that first game suspension, so he's only going to play 16 games if he has a healthy season. Waddle has the opportunity to play 17. First round draft capital with a wide receiver obviously tells us they have plans to utilize that guy in the offense. Whether Waddle was a question mark pick or not, he's going to get utilized. I'm going to go with Fuller, I guess. I don't know. I like the deep threat. Again, the reports are saying that they want to prioritize moving the ball down the field, aka Fuller. He's been in the NFL. Is he on PEDs? Is he not? Who cares? He's going to be playing 16 games. I kind of like that. I mean, best ball, maybe go with Waddle. Maybe they do, like Flores does, scheme out Waddle if he plays more slot than Gesicki. It kind of just depends, and I don't know how to answer that question because I don't know how this season is unfolding. So it's like a situation where it's kind of I don't know how to address it in like a redraft because there's no data to back it up. New wide receiver via free agency, new wide receiver via draft.
Absolutely.
I guess not the cheapest guy because that means Devontae Parker. Technically, that might mean Lynn Bowden, but I don't believe in Devontae Parker. So Will Fuller, Waddle, pick and choose whichever one you want. They should be fine depending on what round you're drafting them in.
Absolutely. Well, dude, let's talk a little bit more to it. We know the situation, the weapons around him leading up till now. Before I get your end of the year ranking, kind of where you see him finishing, let's put the hat on backwards. Let's talk trades, baby. I want to hit you with a quarterback trade. You're playing Dynasty. You are currently the Watson owner. You're a competing team. Are you willing to trade this quarterback who's been top 5 the last couple years for Mr. Tua? Is it Tua time, or are you holding on to Watson?
Are you saying straight up?
Straight up, baby.
No.
You're straight up, no. Your guns with Watson.
Yeah, I mean, simply because, okay, there's a lot to get into, obviously. If he sits out 1 year, that's fine. I like Watson. He's a top 3, top 5 at least quarterback, right? Will Tua ever breach top 10? Again, he's currently quarterback 16 in Dynasty, quarterback 21 in your redraft, season-long fantasy league. Will Tua breach top 10 is the question. And that's tough because we see all, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Murray, Prescott, even rookies, Trey Lance, Justin Fields. There's a lot. I mean, whoever else I missed, I'm sorry. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. There's so many quarterbacks. It's like, will Tua get that? And that's the question. And I don't know if I could bet on that. I would rather bet on Watson. If you throw in like a first, maybe another young piece. I don't know. Jerry Jeudy is on the top of my head for some reason. Something like that to make it a little more intriguing. But if you're just going to bring me Watson for Tua, it's like if I'm a contending team, why not go for Big Ben or Fitzpatrick for like a second round or third, depending on what the person wants. Whatever.
I love the game we're playing here. If you've got Watson, you get offered Tua, pump the damn brakes.
Or if
we're not there yet.
Or if you want, I don't know.
Ask for more. That's what Corey's trying to say.
Maybe he never plays again. Then it's like you wish you would have got Tua, but I don't know. In this game, no one knows in this game. And
exactly. It's a gamble no matter what, but you're not quite there on release or trading a top 5 quarterback for Tua. So let's keep going, man. Everybody's hype about rookies. Everybody loves the rookie fever, and that's the time of year we are. Javonte Williams.
J. Will.
If you're the Tua owner, you have plenty of quarterbacks. If Tua is your QB3, are you going after Williams here if somebody offers him, or is it not enough?
Again, straight up, no. But I absolutely love it because they're probably very similar in terms of value currently. I picked, when you came to me about coming on the quick hitter, shout out the quick hits, I asked about Tua if he was available just because I've been, researching and thinking about him a lot. And I just think he's too low in value. So I don't know. Is this what we call a floor? However, if he tanks and just, nosedives this season, he'll go lower. But regardless, so Javonte Williams, we're talking about rookie running back, Denver Broncos, 35th overall. Did they trade up for him?
I'm not sure, but
they might. If they did, that changes my mind a little bit on him. But regardless, that's still almost like a 35th. It might as well be a 32nd, Clyde Edwards-Helaire pick. Like it's so similar, like first, second round. So will I trade as a Tua owner if he was my QB3? No.
All right.
I like hoarding QBs because that means my QB4 is probably non-existent if Tua's my QB3, but maybe it is. But then it's like, I don't know. Do I need to run it? Maybe it changes in season, Am I looking at a playoff push? Am I looking at a championship push?
Absolutely.
Tua as a QB3, that's kind of like, all right, you got some room to move. It's like, but who is that quarterback for? I don't know. For some reason, I'm a super flex quarterback, nerd. I like to get those quarterbacks. So quarterback, but the winning is the matter. I don't know, dude. I would take Tua over J. Will straight up.
Right. And if you are a team that needs a quarterback,
ship Will, Williams.
Love it. All right, dude. So we've hit trade. We've talked the past. Let's talk the present. Let's get it down to the nitty gritty, dude. Tua Tagovailoa. Let's just say he goes on the path that you expect him to go on. Where do you see this guy finishing? Is he going to be a QB2 with QB1 weeks? Could he break into that quarterback 1 threshold? What are you giving us for Tua here?
Yeah, man, that's a very nice question. Thank you for asking. So Tua, again, quarterback 16 in Dynasty, quarterback 21 in redraft. I'm a believer in Tua. I'm a believer in Flores and what the Dolphins are building. I have no problem slotting Tua above the rookie quarterbacks who come before him, like Trey Lance, and even like a guy like Jalen Hurts. Again, so that's quarterback, 12, 13?
Right.
However, I have no problem ranking him where he is. Like, he does have those question marks, again, a game manager. He does not really have the upside, rushing like Hurts, but he still had 36 rushes and 3 touchdowns in those 9 starts. So, again, it's going to be kind of hard for Tua to supersede himself into the top 10 rankings. But at quarterback 16, Tua is just like it's like a glaring buy, I guess, in Dynasty, or like a glaring late round quarterback, just based off like boondoggle information surrounding him. So, what I'm trying to say up and to answer your question, it's just simply because I think he's like valued low. Like, I don't care about rankings at all, but I do care about this perceived value. So, especially if you come across this owner in Dynasty who may be a little bit on their toes, it's like on the Dynasty trade calculator, shout out to DTC, Tua is currently ranked to 28.0 value. So a Kirk Cousins and Odell Beckham Jr. package is 28.4. So it's like, I would gladly make that trade.
I like it.
Yeah. So where is he going to finish? He's just going to be a middle of the pack guy. Like, he's a game manager. The Dolphins,
but he does have that upside. We saw what he did in college. They are trying to pass down the field. So if you can trade maybe people that value him as a late QB2 and pop him into your QB2, QB3, hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they brought in Will Fuller. They brought in Waddle. They drafted Hunter Long. Maybe they drafted Hunter Long because Mike Gesicki is due a contract, but that's another talk. But they're bringing in weapons. They address the offensive line. I mean, obviously, we already know their defense. I don't know. Is it elite? Is it borderline elite? Whatever. It's really good. So they address the need. They're surrounding Tua with the right tools. Sorry, that was a bad dad joke. However, they're showing that they believe in Tua, and I believe in Tua. You should believe in Tua. If he flops, he flops. The process is wrong. However, okay. All right, this is a long-winded answer. Shout out to ADHD. To answer your question, I'll just say quarterback 14.
Boom. That's a high QB2 with upside, baby.
Yeah, exactly what you said. High QB2, a couple week one, we saw him get a couple 24 points per game. So we saw his, 7 points per game against a pretty good defense in the Rams. So again, rehabbing a career-threatening injury versus having this time in the 2021 offseason to prep and work, that it's going to make a quarterback 2 difference from quarterback 16 to quarterback 14.
That's a hot buy, baby.
That's
yum-yums
out here.
Dude,
that's yum-yums.
We're talking Dolphins. Don't be a dipper. Show that flipper. We just talked with Corey. You can catch him on the Chaos, the Authority.
Tomorrow.
And he loads the wagon every Monday.
Every Monday.
Every Monday. Till next time, Corey. It's been the Matty Daddy. Corey's laid it down. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Matty. Appreciate everyone who viewed it. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to y'all.
Corey, dude, you kicked ass and took names today. You gave us those Tua thoughts that everybody's got, and just that QB2 upside for something more. I see the glimpse in your eye, and I got it too. Till next time, let's keep it going, baby.